Now feeding, mate.
Wow, that is a big mirror. Right.
We've got a troffer. Troffer, mate. Although out there it is very deep, it's a gravel pit, there are really great margins. I'm going to go for a swim, I'm going to have a little look and try and find somewhere where we can position a camera in like 2-3 metres.
Oh, yes, you got him.
Yes!
Just go again in the rough, same sort of place, mate. It might land better. Land him right next to the lead.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah. This is live as well.
Damn, that. I'm saying he got absolutely nailed straight up. Like, he stood no chance. What a buzz to get up, make a brew, sit down in front of the cameras and witness it take the hook bait. First time as well. Elliot was sitting with me, massive buzz.
Sorry to interrupt, but whilst I have your attention, I just want to talk about a couple of things. Firstly, would you please subscribe to our YouTube channel? We would massively appreciate it, and you will stay very much up to date with everything YouTube orientated that we do. Secondly, and as well as asking you for a little favour, we have a little something that might be of interest to you. If you click the link in description or scan the QR code on screen, you will be entitled to 50% off your first 3 months as a Cypography member. And as a Cypography member, you will get access to over 1,000 videos and several other member perks. Okay, we are on day, is it day 7? Are we day 7?
Nah, we've not been that long.
I feel like it's day 7.
17.
Day 17. Day 7, I think, certainly 6, of quite a crazy week's underwater filming for many reasons. Obviously, we started in Cologne, Germany. Germany is a place I've only ever been to once. I've always wanted to make a film out here, but it's difficult, isn't it? You know, to come out here and do it, to get fishing access in Germany, get a license.
Yeah, it's not the same as in England where we can go online and register for our rod license. Same with the Carp de pêche in France. You can jump online, translate it, or put it into subtitles. And Belgium's not too difficult. Holland's not too difficult, but Germany is difficult.
Yeah,
they don't have. Because of the way the law's set up, you know, that you're not supposed to release any fish. Having pay lakes or lakes that you'd pay to go and fish, it's kind of frowned upon. And yeah, you have to go and sit a 2-day exam to get a fishing license.
It's so strange because the carp anglers are, like we are, so passionate about it. But for people that don't know, could you explain what the rules are here? Like you say, there is no catch and release.
Yeah, catch and release is banned, so everything we catch should be killed.
Yeah.
That's the law. I think it's the same in Switzerland, and it's a law from many, many years ago. I don't know the year, but hundreds of years ago, and it's basically reviewed and it's stayed ever since, where no animal is to be tortured.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. That's it, broken down into no animal is to be tortured. And the political party look at it like that, you know, extracting that small roach from there for my pleasure to take a photo to then release it back in again, that's not.
And for the same to happen potentially over and over throughout its life.
Yeah.
It seems really cruel from our side to think that killing them would never enter your mind.
Yeah.
I see both. I do see both sides.
And so do I. I know exactly what I'm doing, mate.
Yeah.
I know what my agenda is when I go fishing, and I love it. You know, and with it comes loads of positives. And I think that's the way the German carp anglers, because it is a big scene over here, a really strong scene. That's the way they've played in. And some of the big groups like Carpzilla, they've put a lot of cases forward to government, a lot of signatures, a lot of case studies where they've taken these incredible natural environments and because of angling, made them something even more special. So I don't know if it's the phrase turned a blind eye would be right, but the government do kind of look at, there's this sort of grey area of, they know everyone's out here releasing them. They know everyone is, and with that comes the caveat of make sure everywhere's clean and tidy, let other people use the lake. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like just works, but yeah, to actually get a licence is not easy.
It's very, and I think something you mentioned then, you said, you know, these wonderful environments, they are incredible lakes out here. And the one thing I've always heard said about Germany, and I've obviously noticed while we've been out here, is their depth. They're so deep.
Deep gravel pits.
Like a deep lake in the UK, most people watching this, if you said it's deep, they're probably going to be
20
thinking
foot?
20 foot.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
deep.
yeah.
Now, 20 foot here
It's
shallow.
in the edge, mate.
It's shallow, yeah. And it seems to be that way for a lot of them. I mean, I'm sure it's not the case for all of them, but most of them are really deep lakes, which for fishing in general makes it a lot harder.
Yeah.
But underwater filming makes it a lot harder.
Yeah. What it does bring is great water quality.
Yes, the lakes seem just full of life.
The weed, mate, when you're out in the boat and you're looking down, it's incredible. Oh, and even on screen here, so many fish.
So for people watching, what do you think are the key points to being able to fish effectively in this depth of water? Because what we're doing out here and the way you're positioning rods and that, it is very different, isn't it? To, if you came out here undergunned, what would that undergunned person be missing in your opinion?
I think at the moment, it just depends on you as an angler. Like, I find it incredibly easy to go out into a lake and quite quickly find these kind of spots to fish on, spots that you'd look at and go, yeah, that's... Whereas, someone like yourself, Al, you'd probably do it not too slower with a marker rod, bruv, because if you look at the bay we're fishing in, it's 40 acres, massive sheet of water. If you stood off the front here and you were casting 20 wraps, 25 wraps, and you did it for long enough, you'd quite soon find somewhere presentable.
Yes.
With regards to swing back and the depth and that, these cameras now, they're 7 meters deep. Do you know what I mean? And the spots are not massive, but I think I wouldn't want to do it myself. I'd rather go out in the boat. But an angler who can cast and accurately locate would be able to fish here with ease, I'm sure. From my point of view, it's been wicked. Going out in the boat with the H blocks, with the poles, with the underwater camera, and really exploring.
And when you say underwater camera, we're not talking these underwater cameras that are here on screen
Just
now.
a dead simple device, a small screen with a lot of cable, with the camera head. The camera's looking down. You can position them looking sideways, and I think if you're going around, you can look. I've never ever used them in that way. I always use them looking directly down. Add a heavy weight on there, 6 ounces, 8 ounces. I put it in a vise, hacksaw a groove into it, slot that onto the cable, slide it down and just squeeze it closed with some pliers, because the leads, there doesn't come with any leads. It'd be impossible to use it. You need about 6 ounces there. And then, I can go out in 7 meters of water, I can drop that camera down, and you've got to be able to control the boat. That's the real skill, just being able to slowly, accurately manoeuvre that boat. And as soon as I find something of interest, in goes a block. The H blocks are not great. As they're going down in 7 meters of water, they're not landing true. They kind of knock off. They're not. Yeah. So, but at least I've got a block down in the area, and then I'll go to that block, put it in the clip, and now I should have a relatively straight line to it. And then I'll just work the block. And if it's good, I might put another block, and you can just start mapping out. The most I'd ever use is 4. Anything after that gets a bit extreme, but usually a couple you can work with. And I'll always have one centre block, and then other blocks around it will be getting moved to try and work out much like an angler would do with a marker rod. And
you've got your points of reference
on the surface. Yeah.
And from there, you go out, you're lowering rigs straight down, I assume. Watching you, are you going? Obviously, a lot of time I've been in here, but when I feel like you can't really avoid going straight down with it.
But the rigs have gone down actually way better than I thought. Like, it's 7 meters, you've got a big snag leader on there with a horrible knot to the braid. Yeah. It clunks through the guides and over the spool as it's catching up in that. But actually, in all the drops I've done, and I've done plenty, I think it's snarled up once. But that's the benefit of an inline lead system. And I'm going over the spot. Not by much, because you're always going to get an element of swing back there, and getting it into the vicinity and just bouncing it along.
From there, donking it along.
Donking it along, This is beautiful, mate, having the underwater cameras. For Mike to sit here and me in the boat and Mike going, it's absolutely banging, bruv. It is incredible. I really enjoy doing it. Would I always get it presented as well as this? No, probably not. I'm sure you drop wigs on top of this weed and that, and you still get pickups.
Of course, but you also have your camera, if you wish to check.
That's something I've not really done a lot of, because you're then talking about micro.
Yeah, you start over.
Mate, you're talking about, occasionally over the years, I might have seen a rig down there, but more often than not, it's purely to find areas. Yeah. And also to work back to the bank, what's between me and my spot, and I'm looking for snags, and I'm looking for structure and stuff that I don't want to get caught up in, and I've got a block out here now. there's a block out here. I've not fished it. It's just to identify a dirty, great big chain covered in mussels coming up. Like,
and there are lots of that kind of thing in these lakes, aren't there?
Yeah.
It's easy to assume that because you can't see danger, there isn't danger.
There's a shark out here. Have you seen a photo?
Yeah, there's
a shark. There's an actual shark out here on a mussel bed that someone's built a sculpture down there because the lake gets dived.
These aren't manicured, are they? They're not kept like a typical English lake. You know, a lot of lakes in the UK, this would all be removed. It's made safe for anglers. These are very much wild pits with big carp in them, and we have seen
a big mirror.
We have seen, I think that
we
was
were close.
Yeah. But I know there's one thing haunting you from that opportunity, and that's the white pop-up.
You can overthink it, of course, and when you don't catch it, you definitely overthink it. If you'd have caught it, it'd be like best pop-up
things in the world.
But yeah, basically, it was the first rig I dropped. It's the bottom's all over the place. It looks quite flat here, but it's dropping off into holes everywhere. And when I first looked with the camera, especially on this particular spot, I was like, it looked quite soft down there. And I'd drop the camera into the bottom and it would puff that bit more than the other areas I'd looked at. And it was the first rod I was placing, and I didn't know how easy it would be to get a rig in a tiny little area in front of a camera. I was like, I'll put a pop-up on. I can bounce it across that low-lying weed and everything will be sweet. And I did just that, and it actually sat perfectly on the brow of the hill, didn't it? It was like right up on the brow of the hill, like you could see the hook and everything. It was mad. So I was really happy with it until the morning when this big mirror turned out. Don't get me wrong, he was hardly there for an hour eating everything. He definitely like got close to the hook bait only once, but I still couldn't help but think, was it too much? Was it just a bit too much? Because I watched him feed. He definitely ate food down there. And it does haunt me a little bit, mate. And that is the danger of fishing in front of something like this.
Yes.
Because
I think with the pop-ups, especially like a brighter pop-up, like for example, a white pop-up, when a fish feeds that close to it, but doesn't take it into its mouth, for me, that carp's made a conscious decision not to do that.
Yeah,
I think
the way those tigers and those boilies, but
they must see it. There's no way it doesn't know it's there. It's too visual for a carp's eyesight. It's too good. The hook bait is too visual. When they go near it 3 or 4 times, or come close to it, in my head, I'm thinking they have to be deciding not to eat it. When you've got a tiger that matches the other tigers and it's all on the bottom, I think they can feed near your hook bait, and the fact that they don't pick it up doesn't necessarily mean that...
Because it looks the same as all the other freebies.
They're not choosing not to pick it up, they just haven't. But when you have a visual hook bait, in my head I'm thinking, well, they must be choosing not to pick that up. Yeah. Whether they're what reason they're doing that for.
Which again, when you talk about, they're hardly pressured, not like carp in an English lake. You'd think he'd just nail a white pop-up. And it was super low lying, but yeah. I didn't like it. That was one thing. If I could turn back time, I would have stuck a 20mm bottom bait on, or a tiger or two. The bait's been interesting as well. I've got through so much bait.
Yes.
So 24s, 20s, 15s, 12s, flake, hemp, slush, loads of tigers, countless cans of corn, stacks of bait for one bite.
But look at your spots now. What is it? What's the time now? It's 7:43. They just
looks desolate.
It just looks like you've put no bait out. There's almost nothing
see them there. 1, 2, 3, 4 boilies. But what's been happening, and it's been really fascinating to watch, you bait it heavily, like 2 kilos at 1, 2, 3, but hardly anything. And there is thousands of roach down there. Up to, I've probably seen them to about £2, but the average size looks to be about 8 ounces, 8 to 10 ounces. And they basically work the bait into these depressions, and then you get these roach balls of like 20 fish, 30 fish, all like in the ball like this. And they've got like half a dozen baits in there. It could be a couple of tigers, a few boilies, and they're just in there. And they could be in there for half an hour. Like, there's one here, and you can see all the bait in the bottom of it still. And I think what could potentially happen is they work them into those holes, and those holes are now all over my spot. Where I tried to bait an area that was, say, 1.5 meters by 1.5 meters, I've now just got these holes and
pockets of bait.
I think if there was a number of carp down here, they then come in, and then they get in those holes, makes their life dead easy. There's a little selection of bait here, selection of bait here, and this is what creates those craters. Now, I never knew that, or it might not be correct, but until watching this,
The roach definitely move bait. I've seen this.
And they start to...
Yeah, wherever they work it into the lowest area. So if you start with a carpet, they're constantly tapping at it, and you'll find on every spot there are slightly deeper depressions.
Look at that there.
Yeah.
It's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, it looks like 5 or 6 tigers and a couple of boilies. And if the carp were here and they came in there, a couple of big mouthfuls. And I think when I've spent so much time looking at the underwater camera and drifted over areas, and you come across an area like this, it's where I'd always put my rig.
Yeah, in the
always in these little depressions.
The holes, yeah.
And yeah, it's just interesting. Are they man-made even more because of our bait? I thought they were going in and just taking big mouthfuls out of silt. Seeing it now on this sandy, hardier bottom, I think you can create those holes in everything.
In any type
rock.
of ground.
Yeah.
In any type of ground. Yeah. And the spots have changed a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's weed on them, but they're ever changing, aren't they, with the activity of the fish. If we'd had carp feeding on these more regularly, they'd just be sand. All of that would be gone. Yeah. It doesn't take a lot for carp, but in particular, to clear off a spot. But even the likes of roach, tench, they will clean your spot.
They've changed it.
Yeah. You know, and I think spots change far more and far quicker than most people think. It's very rare that people have the opportunity to see what they're fishing over. But any area, unless it's already pure shingle or clean sand, anything like silt, weed, that disappears very, very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, 1 or 2 bait ups, in my opinion, and your spot is totally different to what it would have been at the start. And, you know, we've watched it happen here constantly, whether it's bait going, weed moving. As long as there's activity from fish, these spots are evolving all the time. But I think just slower when it isn't carp. Carp are so destructive in comparison to these. But the tench have had a good go, and they've been walloping big boilies.
They love a boilie, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't know if I've seen one here pick a tiger up. At the other lake, they loved a tiger, but I don't think I've seen a tench pick a tiger up here.
I think I've seen the odd one, but definitely the boilies go first, and then the tigers remain. Which I think is, they do eat them.
They definitely eat them.
But they definitely favour.
Yeah, so if you're at the venue and it's full of tench, it's a great starting point if you can use that.
For sure. The first lake, I feel like it was very different to this in a way, maybe more the style of fishing we were doing. You know, we saw fish in the snags, and to me, I felt like there was a golden opportunity there, which nearly, I think, built up to something at one point, didn't it? It felt like you were going to catch one there.
It was a great area. It was a classic area that all lakes have, where that's an area they will spend time.
Yeah.
They just, for whatever reason, were there when we got there. The second day there was a couple there, and then by the following morning there was just no fish there.
Yeah.
No fish there, which was a shame. Massive shame.
It's always hard to know as well, you know, if we'd have stayed at that lake, whether that opportunity would have arisen at some point, but it's so hard to just sit there and hope. I feel like we gave it a good...
I think there you had a different set of sort of rules as well. You need the weather to do certain things to get the fish in those snags, and those fish I think need to creep into that shallow water with no pressure. And you had an angler now coming at them from one way. I was coming at them from another way. There was a gentleman on the sort of spit who would block anything getting in and out. Plus Mark was there, and I think the whole lake changed quite quickly. If we'd have sat there for a week, mate, maybe they'd have come back in now. I think when we arrived, we knew if you were fishing, you knew exactly where you'd go. But we're not. We're underwater cameraing.
Yeah.
They're two very different things.
And it has opened my eyes. Like, the thought of putting these cameras down into 7 meters, I was like, you know, it was worrying me because we've never done it. You know, we've never caught a carp catching a carp from a big lake is one thing. Catching one from a big, deep lake is another thing. And when you throw the underwater cameras into the mix. So I feel like we've taken a step forward in terms of what we're able to do.
We don't have divers, to now go and do it, Al, like 100%.
There's ways
we only snapped one pole.
Yeah, we only had one pick up. But yeah, so that from my point of view, it's another little, you know, we can do that. And I would certainly come back to a lake like this feeling
more confident.
I'd be more prepared for what it takes to get cameras in position, but I'd be confident of now doing it in much deeper water. What's 7 meters in feet?
25
foot.
Yeah,
It's got to be
something like
about
that.
25 foot.
I think get yourself a set of them Carp spot poles. Big aluminium, threaded, super strong, and I think you go down as deep as you want. I tell you what I will say, I went and had a look last night in 10.5 meters, and with the underwater camera, with the LED light on, I had to go within about 2-3 inches of the bottom to even be able to see the bottom. If I got down into that last 9-10 foot, if the camera was up here, black.
Wow.
Black. So yeah, you do start to lose the light at a certain point.
And interestingly, the guys out here, and I've seen this in France as well, I think the classic opinion in the UK is if it's 30 degrees, the carp will be in shallow water. Yeah. I don't think many people that fish back in England would walk up to a lake with extreme depths, let's say 30 feet, and fish in those areas. I think they would
mentality would be shallows. Where's the shallows?
Yeah. It is not like that out here. And it appears to me, Spain, France, they're all the same. The hotter it is, almost the deeper. Somewhere between 8 and 10 meters always seems to be the depth that I hear about.
We talk about it in winter, don't we? But the carp just wants to be in the most comfortable place, and sometimes that is a thermocline, sometimes that's underneath a snag or in dying weed beds, but they want to stay comfortable, and it's exactly the same in the summer. You know, they just want to be comfortable. So if that comfort depth is 8 meters or 6 meters or 10 meters, or that's where they are. You know, you'll often see the proper Euro boys when they fish those big lakes, they'll fish one at 4 meters, 6 meters, 8 meters, and 10 meters. You know, and it's all about the depths. Tench probably. It's all about the depths, and then a bit like with the zigging, you then readjust all your other rods accordingly.
That's a classic thing, isn't it? Like you say, go 6, 8, 10, 4, and then adjust all the rods. But that is, I think, is something that maybe we overlook because carp are carp. I don't think we get. We don't get quite the heat that you do out here, but
all the depths.
But it is hot a lot. You know, we do get hot weather. It's been 30 odd degrees while we've been here, and I don't think it's not like we don't get 30 degrees, is it? There's a big bit of cloud in there.
Puffing. And
I think it could be something we could easily be missing a trick back in England when it is that hot. Maybe try the deeper water because these guys are saying to us, "Oh, you're in 7 meters.
It's too shallow.
It's too shallow. You need to be in 8 to 10." And it's quite a lot to get your head around, isn't it? But yeah, it's been good. I think. Like
I've loved it. Yeah. Thank you for having me, man.
And something else we need to address is this lake that we have ended up on.
It's been a madness.
Some of the things we've seen. So this is it like the? It's
absolute madness. And this geezer here, mate, he's embraced it fully, mate. I've tried to stay super focused. Just tie another leader, Alan. Tie another rig. Like, nope, not hell, mate. Thick of it. Absolutely. He's going to be doing boat tours, swimming with them.
It's been interesting, but it's
been sick.
Yeah.
Really, I've laughed so much, which I don't do much with my fishing. You go away, it's dead serious filming, and I think with this, can be a little bit more chilled. You've cooked some great food, like
the steaks you cooked were good. We bet well.
Good, man.
We've seen lots of stuff we never thought we'd see, and we'll probably never see the things. Some of the stuff we've witnessed.
Are they ingrained?
I doubt they're very much ingrained. So we're at like a swinging hub of the world here, surrounded by naked people.
Ladies and men
all day.
And
they're so normal. That's the thing.
We spoke.
You see them without their clothes on, just doing what they're doing over there, which is pretty insane at times. Then when they
come with picnic blankets, little baskets, air beds, parasols, like umbrellas. You look over there, mate. It's wild for midday antics, mate. There's a set of woods as well. I ain't got the balls to go in it. I ain't going near it. Maybe you never ventured into the woods, did you?
I've been pretty deep in there.
You've not been deep enough.
All of the whole bank smells of perfume. All through the woods, the bank smells of perfume. Like you say, there's naked people everywhere. They look at you like
they come here. They come into the swim naked,
for having your clothes on. But when they come back around here, I've tried to talk to them as much as I can.
What do you mean try?
I have spoke to them, a lot of them, but they're completely normal people, and your perception is that they're really weird. What are they doing? These people
they've been lovely, haven't they?
If you haven't seen them there with their clothes off doing what they do, you meet them in our swim.
All walks of life.
And
All walks of life, all ages.
Yeah, I've seen men's penises that some of them are 85 years old.
Some of them are 18.
And some of them are 18 years old, yeah. So
You've seen many men's.
It has been insane. It has been insane. Made some friends for life, I think. And yeah, if we could end on a carp now, that would be magic.
You know, you get like a flock of birds and things. What's a cluster of penises called?
A clutch of penises.
An absolute firm of penises.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap things. Like I say, we've got a couple of hours to go. We've just had a carp turn up and eat, so cross your fingers. I'm not gonna say I hope to die because I don't want to die, but I hope to catch a carp.
So do I.